Welcome back everyone to Global War 1936, Operation Lone Ranger. In this video we are doing turn 21 for the KMT in the United States. So let's get right into some tech here for the USA. We're going for Advanced Artillery, ASW, Anti-Submarine Warfare, Amphib Doctrine, Heavy Armor, Advanced Subs, and Improved Logistics. So even though we get 7 tech rolls because we have 7 heavy factories, we can only do 6 because there's no other techs on the board that we can pick from. No other options left for us. All right, so let's see what we get here. All right, so let's see. Advanced Subs, Heavy Armor, Improved Logistics, ASW, and then Advanced Artillery and Amphib Doctrine fail. Okay, so I think we complete do we complete ASW? No. ASW is up to stage 3. Heavy Armor is up to stage 3. I believe we complete Advanced Subs, though. Yep, complete Advanced Subs. And then Improved Logistics will go up to stage 3. All right. So let's come over here to purchases. We're going to start construction of a heavy battleship and a heavy fleet carrier. Those will start at stage 3. We're going to purchase an artillery, a jet fighter, 2 destroyers. We're going to lend-lease a fighter to the British, construct a strategic bomber, and then 2 medium armor. Okay, so for combat moves, really the only thing here in the European theater that we can do is strategic bombing. Huh, that would be interesting. Thinking about using some airborne to go after. I think we're just throwing units away, though, because they would just counter and wipe them out, so I don't think there's any sense in doing that. All right, so for strategic bombing, we are going to send 1 strategic bomber into Western Germany. We're going to send, along with a... Yeah, that's right. Just 1 strategic bomber into Western Germany. A heavy strategic bomber and a medium bomber are going to go into Berlin. And we do have long-range aircraft, so we're going to send... We have 3 escorts that we can send. Unfortunately, they can't make it to Berlin. So they are all going to go with this strategic bomber into Western Germany. And I think he is going to counter... He's got 3 fighters. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what... I think we'll stick with this. For the interceptors, They're going to send, I think, all 3 against these guys. Now, I'll tell you what. They're going to send 1 jet after the attackers on Berlin, and then a jet and a regular fighter against these attackers in Western Germany. So let's split it up a little bit at least. Okay, so let's do Berlin first. So we're going to send a jet. Germany's going to send a jet after them. So he is going to be defending at a 6. And he misses. And then the bombers get to fire back. Heavy strategic bomber at a 2. Miss. And then a medium bomber will defend at a 1. Oh, and he shoots the jet down. Oh, man. I think recently Germany has not had luck with intercepting jet fighters. I think that's the second one that's been shot down by a bomber. All right, so let's resolve the bombing there. So Germany will get 2 dice at a 1 because America does have heavy strategic bombers, and that reduces their defense value for the AA guns. And then USA will get, I think they actually get 4 dice. They get 4 D6, 1 for the medium bomber, 3 for the heavy strategic bomber. All right, so no one gets shot down. And we do, let's see, it's 11 and 4, we do 15 damage to Berlin. All right, so that factory will sustain 15 damage. And then they will come back and they'll go into London. All right, now for Western Germany. So he's going to have a fighter at a 4 defending and a jet at a 6. And then we will have 3 fighters at a 3. No, the jet, we have 2 fighters at a 3. The jet will be at a 5. So we will use this white die for the jet. And then he will get, well, we'll roll him separately. So white die for the jet. The 2 red ones are for the fighters. All right, so we miss. Those are all misses. So he will retaliate with a jet at a 6. That's a miss. And then a regular fighter at a 4. Oh, and that's a hit. Okay, so we will lose a regular fighter. Okay. And he will get 1 AA gunshot at our bomber. And then our bomber will get 2 shots on the factory. Okay, so he doesn't hit, and then we do 6 damage. Okay. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a British die somehow. That's interesting. Okay, what was it, 6 damage? Now I can't even remember. I think it was 6. I can go back and check. So 6 damage on the factory there in West Germany. Oh, wait, he takes -1 because of approved construction, so I forgot about that. So it's going to be 5 on the one in Western Germany, and then 14 on the one in Berlin. I keep forgetting about that. Okay, so these guys will all come back into London. And then I think that's all for the European theater for combat. Let's go over to the Pacific and see what we can get into here. Of course, the big thing is trying to take back these strategic points here, Wake and Guam. Of course, we're not going to be able to do that all in one turn. Let's see. He's got Alaska pretty much on lockdown. And I don't know if I want to contend with that fleet. 4 battleships. 1, 2, 3. We could make it up there. We could send in a heavy strategic bomber. He's got all those heavy cruisers. Only outnumbers us by 2, though. Same amount of destroyers. Well, actually, we have 2 more destroyers than him. You know what? This might actually be in our favor. Interesting. Oh, we don't have a major port here. The battleships wouldn't be able to make it. Dang it. All right, well, that's off the table then. Let's instead go after... Let's see if we can reach Wake Island. 1, 2, 3. No, we can't. We need a major port in Midway is what we really need. Oh, wait, we can make it to Wake. 1, 2. Yeah, let's try and go after Wake. We got 3 Marines there. And we will load them up onto our transports with the battle fleet and move down 2 into P-36. The carrier fleet will come in as well, and all the planes will be involved in the assault too. Okay, so we can shore bombard with 3 ships. So we're going to pick the heavy battleship and the 2 regular battleships. The heavy battleship is going to be at a 5. That's a big time miss. And then the 2 battleships at a 4. Oh, and we get a hit. All right, so he loses 1 Marine, and then that just leaves 1 more left for us to take down. Let's go to the aircraft. We have 4 tactical bombers, and they are all at 7s. And we get the hit that we need. And then he will retaliate, I believe, at a 4. Yeah. So he will be at a 4. And he misses. All right, so we take Wake back. It's not worth anything. But at at least we have it. Okay. Yeah, there's no port or airfield there, so really strategically, unless if we build something, it's not going to have much significance. I think that's all we can really do in here. Let's... Oh, man. Let's transport... two Marines. This is the non-combat phase now. Two Marines will go to Midway. 1, 2, 3. Aboard these two transports. Fortunately, the transports can't go into port. The issue is they're in a position to be able to pounce on our homeland. Yikes. One, two, three, four. So these guys will come out of port, and this carrier will join the carrier fleet there off of Wake in P-36. The battleship, he is limited to 3 moves. So 1, 2, 3 into P-37. And then the 2 destroyers, we're going to put them, or 3 destroyers rather, we're going to put them with the battle fleet. There in P-36. If this game keeps going on, I'm concerned that he is going to just launch an assault here. Oh, he doesn't. Well, he could use. Yeah, he could use. I think we're fine for now because his troop transports are way back there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and he's got a major port. Yeah. Yeah, he could. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he could even send destroyers back to get those armor. Yeah. He's poised to land in the Pacific Northwest or British Columbia if he wanted to. Dang. Well, we are going to be putting down some more units here, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Let's see. Non-combat moves here in the Atlantic. These, we're going to leave 1 transport here in New York. 2 transports are going to come down, pick up these infantry, along with, and then come back up 1 into A-25 and pick up these 2 self-propelled artillery, and then move 1 in into A-18. These 2 transports will come out of port, and they will strategic naval move 1, 2, 3, 4 off of New York. We don't have anything in Africa. I think we're done here in the Pacific. So yeah, we're going to place 2 destroyers off San Francisco. They will go in port. And artillery will go into the Pacific Northwest. And then all the rest of these guys are going to go into the European theater. So 1 strategic bomber will be produced in the factory in London. Of course, we lend-lease this guy. He'll be manufactured in New York. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into southern England. 2 medium armor into New York. A jet fighter into New England. And I believe that's a wrap on that. Making sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay. All right, so let's look at income. We have a base of 61. We get 12 for home country, so that's going to be 73 for our final income. So 40, 50, 60, 73. All right, and then I don't think any strategic objectives changed. We have technological supremacy, triumph of capitalism. Yeah, we're still way ahead of the combined. Those numbers aren't correct. I think the Soviets are at 30. Let's see. They're going to be at 34. So we would have to be at 68. And we're way above. Our combined income with the UK is way above 68. So we have 70. We almost have that by ourselves as the US, and the British have 20 on top of our 73. So, yeah, that puts us at 93. So, yep, we get triumph of capitalism. Let's check to see. I don't think Japan gets Kido Butai. I don't think they have 1 more than we do. They have 8. And then we have these heavies count as 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 to their 8. So they do not get that. Of course, they lost Pacific Buffer Zone when they lost Midway. They still have these 2. The Italians never took Malta, or else they would have Imperio Italiano. Germans lost that when we invaded Norway, or Normandy, rather. Spanish Civil War still never resolved. Do they have Lebensraum? They don't have Lebensraum anymore. They need to possess 3 Soviet cities in order to have Lebensraum, and they only have 1. So they lose that. That's big. All right. So I think we are up to date now. Yeah, we don't have rapid industrialization. The Soviets don't have rapid industrialization. They would need to take Kiev and Novosibirsk in order to achieve that again. Access to Mediterranean, they lost that, losing Turkey. They don't have Romania and Warsaw, so they don't get that. Spanish Civil War, of course, Dunzo. Pacific expansion, I think they would need to push into Manchuria and also have South Sakhalin. They don't have that. Of course, CCP doesn't have any of theirs. France is not a world power. British doesn't have that, or African colonialism. Yeah, there's really not a lot of strategic objectives for how late in the game we are that are completed. So, of course, we're going to be rolling for the end of the turn here. and it's going to be at an 8. The base is going to be 6, so it's from here on out for the rest of the game, the base roll is going to be a 6. So we're going to be at an 8 because 2 capital cities are still occupied, Calcutta and Paris. So the Axis have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Comintern have 3, and the Allies have 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, 10 to 4 to 3. So yeah, the Axis are still way in the lead. So let's roll for the end of the game. So this is going to be at a 8 or less. And it's an 8. And the game is over. Turn 21 of July 1946. And we barely got it. These dice, I mean, I'm telling you guys, these dice were just trying their hardest to drag this game out and give the Allies and the Comintern every chance possible to come back. But, you know, the Axis, they were just, they were aggressive, especially Japan, just aggressive, and, you know, from the get-go. And, you know, Germany took its hits, invading Poland and France at the same time, and lost a good chunk of its material, but they recovered extremely well. And I think, you know, the big mistake from the side of perspective of the Allies was that they just didn't take advantage of while Germany was down. Now maybe the Allies felt like they didn't have the material yet to really take advantage of that. You know, Britain was alone for a good long time in this game. You know, the USA didn't come into this game until, goodness, what was it? Turn 12 or 13, I want to say. They could have come in, I think, on turn 12, but they were 1 IPP short of reaching their wartime income. So kind of unlucky there. And then, you know, I just think I think that played a big role too, is the fact that the USA really didn't get involved until late. And we see that it just didn't allow them to get going. You know, they lost that major naval battle here in the Pacific, the first and really only engagement with the Japanese fleet just really went Japan's way, and a lot of material was lost on both sides. But that really put the U.S. behind the 8 ball even further as Japan continued to expand into India and then into Australia. The Australians had a valiant effort there in keeping Japan out of Sydney. So they did, you know, fairly good considering the circumstances. But, yeah, I mean, Japanese aggression, just, I mean, always putting pressure on, I think really boded well for them. And, of course, the Italians did really well in Africa. The UK could have took some advantage if they're... I think we played the UK a little bit too passive. If I had to criticize myself, be critical of myself for them, I think we could have stood to be a little bit more aggressive to apply some pressure on Italy at the very least. But it is difficult. I mean, it's difficult to navigate and kind of, you know, you're at an IPP disadvantage a little bit. And so it's difficult to defend all of your colonies. You're so spread out, and it's just hard to manage all of that. You know, I felt like the strategic bombing campaign went a lot better for the Allies compared to my last game, which, you know, of course I didn't get on video, but the strategic bombing campaign in my last game of this for the Allies was just a disaster. It just did not work. And so this time I felt like it went a lot better. Of course, it helped that the United States had heavy strategic bombers. The fact that Germany got jet fighters as early as they did was, I think, another another huge help for them. And I think if this game were to go on even further and not end, I think the Russians would, here on the Eastern Front, would have eventually been halted, just for the fact that Japan's coming in, helping from the south and also from the east. And there's really nothing the Russians can do. They would have to divert forces eastward and southward, which would take away and give the Germans more time. And the fact that the Germans are making, I mean, they're still making over 66 IPP a turn. So they'd be able to recover theoretically and eventually push the Russians back. So, yeah, so the Axis end up winning with 10 IPP, or 10 IPP, with 10 victory points. Let's recount it just to double check and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The CCP end up with 3, so they end up in third place. And then Allies 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. A long game, but it was definitely a lot of fun and very interesting. So let's see. Going forward, I got to get this board cleaned up and reset for a whole new game. I got some new pieces coming in from Historical Board Gaming, so I'm going to wait to start a new game until they arrive, and then we'll get this whole thing set up and do it all over again. I really appreciate everyone watching. Thank you so much. Even though some of the videos were kind of long and I know mistakes were made, and like, for instance, the radar. Having radar increases your interception attack, or defense, I guess, which I didn't know that until just a couple turns ago. But hopefully next game I won't make as many mistakes now that I'm a little bit more familiar with the rules. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a lot better. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And until next time, take care, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.